Like use your resources for something better than looking at a pixel in the sky. If you're that clever, fucking hell.
Yeah.
We got some new people that just joined our server right now. Go ahead, fellas. If you come in here brand new, looks like you got VC verified. Heretic, are these new people that they're coming in here?
Yeah, they're new. DAmN Sam, he just showed up. Who's the other one? Let's see.
It's me, Bosh.
Bosh. Yeah, I just checked in Bosh. He's a globe skeptic, heliocentric skeptic,
geocentric. But yes.
Yeah.
Geocentric. Okay.
Who's speaking right now?
DAmN Sam.
Hey, what's going on?
You know, Bosh. Fellas, appreciate you guys coming in here.
Thank you. We love to be here.
Let me just get all the people that are brand new to this server, so maybe they want to speak up. We got, I don't know what this guy's name, Appreciator. I'm just gonna unmute you before you guys speak. Oh, he dipped. Okay, so Depreciator didn't want to talk. We got Funk in here as well. Funk, I'm gonna mute you. Funk, are you there? Hello, Funk. All right, I'm gonna mute you if you don't
talk up.
Funk, if you're not there, I'm gonna mute you. Go ahead and respond if you're there. I'll leave you unmuted, but if not, I'll have to mute you. Okay, he don't want to say anything. That's cool.
Would you like me to mute myself or?
No, you don't. Yeah, if you're unmuted or you're able to speak in here, we want you guys to contribute. So basically, just go ahead and. So we're on the topic of the shape of the Earth in this forum, and you guys are free to contribute as far as any questions you want to talk about some topics about that, or we can ask you questions and figure out like what you think about the topic. So, but I do want to give you the floor, Bosh and DAmN Sam. So go ahead and let us know, maybe your journey into this or what you think if you're thinking that the Earth's a globe or whatever. Go ahead, guys.
Would you like to go first, DAmN Sam?
Yeah, I'd love to go first. All right, so at A level I took geology, and it kind of just didn't really make any sense of all the history towards it. A lot of the models are still very old, still all theories. They couldn't prove properly anything. And I started looking into it online. Started with NASA and whatnot with the moon landing, and I just wasn't really buying it. It didn't really make any sense. There was no way they could have achieved it, in my personal opinion, anyway. But I'm still kind of on the fence. I've been looking into it a little bit. Wanted to kind of get my foot in a little bit more, learn a little bit from people that know a little bit more than me. So that's basically why I'm here.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't say I'm an expert myself. I'm very new to this area, but I have a question for you since you are a trainee geologist. But my question was for say stalagmites and stalactites. How are they growing straight up if the planet is round? Surely gravity would bend them around one way or the other.
Gravity actually, it should bend it down. There's no way they could have physically evolved the material to be able to withstand gravity. If you look at it, they tell you it can, but when you actually looking into it yourself, there's just no physical way. I forget the name, but the outer part, which usually preserves in fossils, there's no way that material is strong enough to get some what's it called, fossilized through sedimentation. But it's not very likely to actually be able to hold up the structure itself.
Yeah,
so that has to do with the shape of the Earth. Or hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually have a moderated forum, so I let you go ahead and ask that question because I don't know if you guys know each other or whatever. But I'll tell you how this works here in this forum. There's people in here who run the forum, so you can ask us questions. I don't know about any outsiders answering any questions. We are 24/7 moderated and live streamed. So we have a live stream running right now currently for all you guys who are brand new to the server, and we're documenting everything that we're saying in here. So we want there to be information that's from this forum to you guys, and from to you guys to us. asking us questions, and we respond to those questions. So,
sorry, I didn't mean to break the rule.
No, it's fine. That's fine. You're not breaking a rule, but I'm giving you a heads up as to how things are run here. So if you do want to ask questions, you ask us questions, and then we'll respond to those questions. But if somebody new comes in, you guys can have a banter in that, but we just got to get to know who you are first, and that way we'll kind of be like, because we give things like Earth determining roles and all kinds of stuff like that. So, since you guys are VC verified, just click on the text channel right above this voice channel, and we're all typing in live stream voice text. So there's relevant information that's put into that channel, and somebody might drop the link to the live stream, so you know that you can watch us on YouTube, because all of this is being live streamed and documented. So if anybody says anything, we can go right back into the live stream. And it's like, let's just say you said something and we're like, hey, you said this thing, and you're like, I didn't say that. We're like, yeah, let's rewind the live stream. We'll play it back for you. So
was there a problem with what we said?
No. I'm just saying, like, we're always keeping a record of what we do here on the voice call 24/7. So it's just some information for you to know. But if there's anybody, is there anybody else that came in with you guys? Because I see some new people that came with you. Is Snef with you?
I've been in here since like 2021.
Okay. But nobody new has come in with you guys, or Bosh or
no, so I actually did come in with Snef. He's the one who actually found this chat for me, because both of us have actually been quite skeptical of the globe Earth, but we haven't been able to find a reliable place to find new information. You know, the stuff you find online is quite heavily censored around finding any information that goes against the globe Earth. So we've been trying to find somewhere that we can get some reliable information, and somewhere we can talk to other like-minded people about this topic.
Yeah, no worries, gentlemen. This is a premier forum for this type of conversation. So we want to make sure that everybody's questions are answered. Like I said, I want to let you guys ask us a question, which is the forum and the people that run this forum, and we can respond to those questions, or actually ask you guys some questions that would be leading us to a better dialogue for the Shape of the Earth conversation. So I'm just gonna, because he hasn't spoken yet. Snef, I just unmuted you. If you'd like to say, hey, what's up, or whatever. But your boy Bosh was saying that you came with him.
Yeah, I came in with him. Pretty much what he said. How we're skeptical of what we're taught, and how that's not actually matching up with what we're seeing. So we decided to come here.
All right, some people, well, because of the subject matter, think that this subject is a troll, right? I'm just going to give you a heads up on that. Like, this place here has been curated to know that if somebody's coming in with that kind of attitude, we have swift ways that we deal with that. So if you guys are inquisitive, we're going to answer those questions. Okay. So make sure that if you do have something in your mind of how you think the Earth is working, as if it's not a globe and that, just ask us. We'll tell you. And there's a lot of great minds in here.
Sorry.
Whoever has a question, whoever has you, Bosh, or DAmN, if you have a question, you can ask that question. Let the forum respond to you. Okay.
So my main question was, you the speaker, what is your personal belief about the shape of the planet, or where the planet is placed in the universe or the solar system?
The cosmology aspect, right? So what is this? What is this whole thing? Well, we would describe it as the floor of everything that there is. So imagine a cosmology that you have right now. It's built upon this preconceived notion that you're in a ever expanding cosmos, right? With planets and black holes and all kinds of stuff, items like, erase that from your mind just for a moment, right? I'm going to start from a clean slate. So think about the Earth being the ground level of everything that there is. So the floor, right? It's the floor of the universe. So everything that's above us, that's all that there is. We can't travel to those places because we live in an enclosed system. I'm going to give you an idea of what this looks like in your mind, okay? As far as the shape of that enclosure, we don't know. This forum doesn't claim that. But there has been speculations as it being a dome or some sort of like firmament or covering, but we don't speculate in this forum. We go directly on what can be measured, tested, and proven. So this forum is built on people who are, for all intents and purposes, empiricists. So you have to test, repeat the test, and falsify the information. You can verify the things that we tell you. So everything that we're going to talk about here in this forum is going to give you great information to verify what we're saying. So there's a lot. I'm going to just make a quick distinction because, like I said, we're the floor of everything that there is. Like right now, we're standing on Earth. Earth is the foundation, right? So all that there is above us, the stars, the lights in the sky, we're just going to tell you that we don't know what they are. We can't ever travel there. Are the other planets flat? We're going to say we don't know what they are. If they're physical, metaphysical, we don't know. What we do know is what can be discovered from the place that you're on, which is tangible Earth, which, where you're walking upon, and you can go places here on Earth. These places that are known to us, we can examine those places. Mm-hmm. So there isn't an ever expanding universe. We don't know what's outside of this enclosed system. We just know what's here where we're at. As far as like going to other places outside of this system, it's not possible if you're in an enclosed system, because you can't go outside of the thing that you're in. And if there's an edge, like if you go walking to like a flat surface and then you reach the end point where there's like you fall off into whatever, we don't claim that thing because nobody can discover that thing. What we will say is that if you're in an enclosed system, if you're inside of something, you have to go outside of the thing in order to find out what's outside. But we can't go outside because we're inside. It's enclosed. So, and the reason why it's enclosed is because we have gas pressure. So the only way to have gas pressure is to be inside of something that has pressure. And the only way to have pressure is to be inside of an enclosed system. So hopefully I kind of ran through some of the basic ideas, but our specific way we look at the Earth as the floor of everything, and the lights in the sky are, we don't say that the distance to them are known. We don't say what they are. We just know that we can visually see, like if I go outside with you, I can see everything that you see. So to us, that's what we see. The representation of what reality is to you and us and me would be the same thing that I would see the same thing you see. So it's like, I'm not seeing flat planets or whatever. We're just seeing what you see through a telescope and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. So as long as you know, like, this is kind of like where we're coming from. If you have any other questions about that, like, I don't know where you want to go with that stuff, but
so the metaphor I was kind of thinking of is we're kind of like a baby, and we're trying to crawl our way out of I'm not sure if these words are allowed, so I'm gonna use a bit of a slang, but we're trying to crawl our way out of the vajayjay or the foofy as you might say, and try discover like a new world or a new way of looking at things.
Right. So basically with the globe paradigm, you've been fed stories, explanations, assumptions.
Sorry.
And so if I was to tell you if you were to ask any question about the lore, because just like any good fantasy story, you need lore. So the globe Earth is in a cosmic experience, like the idea of it would be filled with lore. So the fantasy of the globe Earth has all the trappings of any, good fantasy would have, like all the lore. You got dark matter, dark energy, black holes, galaxies. You got exoplanets. You got, you could land on these rocks that are floating around in space. You got space time. It's just filled with all kinds of lore that can never be understood or attained as far as like human knowledge can achieve. These conceptualizations are something that people have been showing other people, thinking that they're waxing themselves intelligent by talking about these things. But it's like one of those guys who really loves Harry Potter talk about all the things of Hogwarts. And so to us, it's like, how do you know that's true? Have you verified any of that stuff? And people are usually like, no, it's it's space time, or it's black holes, it's dark matter. It's like, okay, that's great. That's great that somebody told you this information, but have you checked into it? Have you looked into any of that stuff? So That's the crux of the issue, is that you've been fed a story, a narrative that you can't verify. So anything, talk about like, well, what is the moon? How do you know? Well, we got humans that actually landed on it with a rocket. But then you go back to like, well, how can they leave this enclosed system? Because in order to go to that place that they say they go to, you'd have to leave the system, go to land on the moon. Well, we were breathing the air that we're breathing. How is it possible to have gas pressure without a container? Because if that was the case, then all the air that we have here would disperse into the void. Because the natural state would be high pressure always moves to low pressure, and the low pressure of the vacuum of space would then let the air that we have here kind of rush off into it. So it's not possible to have that concept that you could leave a system if the system itself needs to be has pressurized, and so you need to have a container that holds that system. It's a dynamic system, but yeah, you need a container.
Yeah, no, you'd have to have a physical wall around the world in order to keep the air or anything within.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't call it a wall, but it definitely is a container of some sort. So I don't want to give it physicality, or not physicality. Excuse me. I don't want to give it a specific connotation, because giving it a connotation would mean that you have to follow up by. If you said wall, then people would think, well, I know what a wall looks like, and I don't think there's a wall up there. So you have to be very specific with your words in this forum, because things like that can. So, but go ahead, if you guys, now that you know, I'm giving you kind of the rundown of the system that we're looking at. So, and it differs. Okay. It differs from the one where people are looking at this disc floating in space. It's not that, gentlemen.
How do you believe the Earth formed, and when did you believe? Do you believe the Earth formed?
Okay,
interesting question.
So we're always okay. So finding out that the information that we're saying verifies the place that we live to be a created place. So all this is going to tie in once I tell you. So void of religious discussion. This gets into the antecedent of creation. So for the antecedent for creation, all of the things that we see here on Earth, right? Like the trees, the animals, the people, would need a creator, because you have to look at it in a way that if information is given by someone who's informing the things that are here, you have to have someone who gives the information and one who receives it. So it's just the idea to say that, okay, so the necessary antecedent for creation would be a creator, right? And we're going to start from the point where if we're examining the Earth in that and through that lens, we're not going to say that it all just happened by nature itself. Nature doesn't spontaneously do things like that, because of the fact that everything that we see has volumes of information inside of it. So definitely a creator. If you're going to burp, please mute your mic. That's pretty disgusting. Sorry. That's pretty disgusting for all of us to listen to you belch over the mic. So please mute your mic.
Fucking pig.
So anyways, just going to that idea there that we're talking about, the necessary antecedent for creation is a creator. Then we're going to talk about, like, if you're asking us, we would say that would be the answer to the creation of all things that we see. So from the beginning, the creator put forth all of these things that we see in creation. That would be the answer that I would give you to the question that you just asked.
Do you believe that it was formed in the biblical time period?
Like I said, void of religion, because there's a lot of narratives, right, with religion.
So you're just like agnostic, like believing in a higher power?
No. I have my own personal stance on this, but I'm telling you from a standpoint of not involving religious text, right? We would say that in any way that you would look at this, it would be a necessary antecedent for creation. You'd need a creator. There's no, you can't get around this. So,
but if you did create it, then are there any processes that continue formation today? Because otherwise, it would just be all eroded away. So you must believe in some sort of like system that keeps the planet in its shape, and here.
I disagree. Right, actually, I would say
you're talking about the laws that govern the reality of our existence. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking, how would the flat Earth continue to stay as a planet if systems like rain and frost and, well, mainly water that freeze, thaws, and waves that erode, so rock gets eroded over time. So how do you explain the formation of the planet? Because it's got to continue to form to stay alive, or it'd be eroded away.
I would say the way you're formulating that question is not conducive to the way we were talking about the things that are made here now. The processes that we would talk about, the ecosystem, the way it runs, and the laws that govern it. So you have in your mind still this notion that we're talking about some sort of like entity in the vacuum of space. So you refer to like the flat Earth as a planet. Like, still, how is that held together in the void, like in the vacuum of space? So we're saying that's the wrong thinking already.
That's not what I'm thinking.
You said
I'm
planet,
saying,
didn't you?
but not planet. But I just mean.
What do you mean?
What would you call it? Because that's the only term I would know to describe it.
I don't know the extent, length, breadth, and width of the entire place that we're living on, so I couldn't tell you what it all is in an all-encompassing like idea. What I can
but you're kind of just avoiding the actual main question. The main question is
no. The thing is like that. I'll say it this way: we can only speak on the things that are known, right? The things that are unknown.
I'm saying something known is that you can visually see erosion in the Earth. So how does the Earth continue to form without being eroded away completely or weathered away?
I don't understand how what are you conceptualizing? I don't understand what that question formulating itself into like how does that eroding, like, what do you mean? What's eroding?
You don't know what eroding or weathering is? It's the breakdown of rock.
I'm trying to tell you. Right. So what are you saying is happening? So you're saying there's constant erosion, and we're
I'm just asking, did the creator put in systems to keep it running? Because there must be formation processes still going on today.
It's a dynamic system which continuously operates on a death life cycle. There is, so
what
entropy, let's say.
What do you mean by that?
You don't know about entropy?
No.
Okay, so what is your knowledge as far as like the laws that govern our reality? I just have to put it out there because there might be some misconceptions, because even with erosion, I think you have this idea that maybe the Earth being a globe explains that well. And
no, it's not. It's not being it's not being a globe. That's not the argument. I'm just asking.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you is because you have this conception about erosion, and then you're using that as
that's not a conception. That's an actual thing.
I'm talking about like as a globe.
That's not. It's not
the way erosion works. Okay, so why would that be a question then? If it's not something that's
because I'm asking how does the flat Earth work?
It doesn't. What do you mean? How does it work?
Well, how does it continue to function as a planet? How does it continue to function?
So erosion works on a planet on the same as it works on a flat Earth. I don't understand what you're talking about, mate.
Yeah, I mean,
erosion is erosion.
No. I'm asking how does it continue to form? You got volcanoes. You got is that still all in place?
We still have volcanoes on a flat Earth, you doofus.
Everything's still the same, dude. Like nothing changes. Like it's just your mind of like I even told you this is why I was saying what I was saying. Your mind is still set.
How do volcanoes
hang on 1 second, Mr. Guy. Hold on. What I'm saying is your conceptualization of the idea is wrapped around a globe, thinking, okay, so if it's not a globe and it's a flat Earth, how is everything still working? Like that's kind of what you're asking right now.
Yeah, because are there now layers to the flat Earth?
I know. Sam, I know. But the reason why I'm saying this to you is because you're thinking one way of like, okay, it works on the globe. Now let's look at flat Earth. How does it work on flat Earth? And so your idea of how you're conceptualizing this question is wrong because we've always been existing on this Earth, right? There's no dichotomy. So let's just erase that. There's no flat or globe. It's just Earth is what it is, right? So as it demonstrates itself to us, we're going to tell you it's always been this way. So we don't have to explain because that's just its natural process. Like what the one you described with erosion, that's always been happening on Earth. But you just thought of it as a planet floating around in the void. So I'm telling you, that was the story that was put in your mind. So now you're trying to build up like this false dichotomy of globe and flat, and there isn't one. There's just only Earth, we've always known it to be. And the processes that happen on the Earth have always been happening on the Earth. And the one you mentioned with erosion has always been taking place. So it's just your conceptualization.
But I'm asking how then does the formation of Earth continue? Because you need volcanoes to continue to renew the crust, and you still need systems like tectonic plates. How is that forming on a?
Do volcanoes still happen regardless of your? Yeah, Timbo just chimed in.
But how are you moving this amount of molten rock?
I think you're thinking about it wrong, man. I'll just be 1 minute. Yeah. So. Just because now it becomes a flat Earth doesn't mean that anything in reality changes. You still have everything that we have here.
I understand.
It just works differently than what you think it works.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. How do they work on a flat Earth?
Well, do you know that all these tectonic plates and everything are true? How have you proven?
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them myself.
That's true. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, we're making a distinction.
You just got to think of it in a different kind of way. Like it's not.
You're right.
Yeah. Let's just make a quick distinction because you said erosion. Now you moved into tectonic plates, and you're lumping. 1 second, Sam. Sam. You're lumping everything into the certain things we can discover as like we can work with certain things that you just mentioned. Other things that you just said are things we can't discover. These are other theories and ideas and conceptualizations that people have come up with. So there has to be a dividing line between the things we can know about and the things that are just thought of as these ideas for, like, let's say, living on a globe. So you're lumping everything into one category, as in all of everything, plate tectonics, erosion. You're saying all of these things, and we're saying, wait a minute. On certain topics you're going to bring up, we have to divide the things that we can know and then the things that are not known, as far as like, have we discovered that going down into the Earth, that the Earth has like a core or mantle or any of the other things they talk about with the Earth being a globe? Like that stuff right there is brought to you by, the educational system. And then now your mind's thinking of the Earth in that way. So you're lumping it all together with like erosion and processes that we can observe, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you is that you have to make a distinction between you go on, because you're trying to say these processes, if there's no means by which way they continue, then it's wrong to say the Earth is flat. So I kind of get where you're going with that, but you have to really make sure, go one by one. If you're going to ask one thing, say, okay, let's talk about erosion, or let's talk about plate tectonics or whatever, then we can examine and expose why that information is not correct or it is, right? Like we can do it that way.
So how would volcanoes work on a flat Earth?
The question is just, I'm sorry, but it sounds crazy. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
You're just repeating the same question like several times. And we've explained it several times.
I think AI wants to come in here. Usually when he gets on his mic. Go ahead.
Oh man. So the general idea about volcanoes is that there's deep underground rock, which is highly pressurized by the weight of the Earth above it, right? And then it comes out when it reaches too much critical pressure. Okay. Now notice how nothing what I said has anything to do with the shape of the Earth. As long as the high pressure is below the surface, that's sufficient. So the explanation on a globe Earth or a flat Earth is identical.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Thank you.
Yeah, so now you know the answer.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll find that a lot of the answers to these questions are the same. So, for example, the seasons. What's the cause of the seasons in the globe model? The relative position of the Earth and the Sun. What's the cause of the seasons in reality? The relative position of the Earth and the Sun. Yep. See? They just take it one step further and try to segue that somehow a globe is needed when it really isn't.
Is there measurements on the idea of a flat Earth?
Yes.
Like theorized?
In actual fact, it's required to navigate across the Earth. That the Earth is flat. So, do you know what an angle is? Like 45 degrees, 90 degrees. You know what an angle is, don't you? Yeah. So you understand what celestial navigation is? It's measuring angles above the horizons to stars, right? Okay, so you understand that to measure an angle, you require both of those lines to be straight, don't you? You couldn't measure 90 degrees, for example, if one of those lines was curved, could you?
Very true.
So if the Earth was a curved surface, we wouldn't be measuring angles to stars now, would we? So that's a direct measurement and utilage of the surface of the Earth, which is required to be level, horizontal, flat, so we can measure elevation angles to stars, not just one, but every single one of them, so we can navigate across the Earth. The Earth is required to be level in this instance. It's a direct measurement.
So, I have a quick question to inject here. So, I'm not trying to be critical of flat Earth or anything like that, but I was just wondering, how do you explain the fact that the stars move like throughout the years, like or throughout the seasons, like how do the stars move?
Very simply, so the floor isn't moving and the stars are moving. I couldn't give you the mechanism for why they move, but they most definitely move. Do you want the mechanism? Is that what you're asking for? Because you can understand a floor being... Yeah. So you can understand a floor being still, but things above it moving, like clouds, airplanes, in this instance, stars. Now, stars, as you said, are constellations. Constant, they return every year. They have cycles over 2, 5, 10 years. But I couldn't give you a mechanism. I couldn't even tell you what the stars are because I would have to go there and physically verify it for myself, right? But we can see the stars move. I guess the question would be, how has the Earth been measured to move itself? Well, the answer to that question is it hasn't.
Can I ask why it hasn't been measured? Pardon me. Sorry.
Because it's not moving. The Earth hasn't been measured to move because it's not moving, just akin to the Earth being a ball. It hasn't been measured to have curvature because it's not a ball.
I see. But how could you measure it as a flat Earth?
He already told you.
Flat Earth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
He already told you. Elevation angles.
I see.
Celestial navigation, and where do you get your latitude lines from?
I'm not quite sure, actually.
Elevation angles to Polaris. So the question then is again.
Sorry. What is Polaris?
The North Star.
It's a star.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So what quantum erasure is talking about with latitude lines is to measure latitude lines. First instance, stand under the North Star, 90 degrees. Move away from that position. Look at the North Star behind you, 45 degrees. Keep going away from the North Star, 0 degrees above the horizon. That's where you get your equator from. Every divisional point between the equator and the North Pole, that's your latitude line. All requiring elevation angles to Polaris, all requiring the surface of the Earth to be level.
That's all right. So yeah, the main thing for me was I was thinking about how wherever you stand on the Earth, everything seems to. Sorry, I have another sneeze coming. No matter where you stand on the Earth, everything seems to be looking at you straight on. You know, like no matter where you are on the planet, the Earth seems to be, or the sun seems to be pointing straight at you. Sorry, this sneeze is really getting to me. But yeah, the sun always seems to be pointing straight at you, no matter where you are on the planet.
Well, it's not a planet, and what's your point?
No, it just doesn't quite make sense. Like if the Earth was round, then surely if possibly the Earth was round.
Round and flat aren't mutually exclusive. You can have a penny that's round And flat.
Okay. If the Earth was a sphere, then surely the sun or any of the stars wouldn't be looking at you straight on all the time. Or I'm looking at you is not the right word, but it wouldn't be pointing at you directly all the time. Like you would be looking at it from an angle.
Really? Show. Well, I don't even know why we're going on to this. Can you acquire an elevation angle off a sphere? No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not disagreeing with you personally. I believe that the Earth is geocentric, but I'm just trying to understand.
To do with the argument. Listen. It's the end of the argument. Unless you can show how you can acquire an elevation angle from a curved baseline or a curved adjacent, it's over. No more questions. There's no more buts and let's go how things point at me. No, it's over.
No, I think you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying that the Earth is a globe, and I'm not saying the sun is a globe particularly. I'm just trying to understand how, from wherever you look at it, no matter what the angle you look at the sun at, or the stars or the planets you look at it at, it always seems to be pointing directly at you.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's the conclusion.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to look for an explanation here.
An explanation for things pointing at us, right? I'm sorry, third grade's out. It doesn't. The question is,
I'm not quite enjoying the aggressiveness. I'm trying to understand.
Well, fucking shore up your questions as to be somewhat coherent.
I'm sorry, I'm maybe not articulating my point properly, so I'll just leave this one alone.
Your point is the same reason why Globers make a lot of their follies, which is perspective. Things as they recede away from you into the distance tend to occupy the center of your vision, right? That's just the way it is. So the further something is away, the more it's going to visually move towards the center of your vision. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, the Globers see that happen out there, or something fall down in the center of towards the center of their vision, and they say, "Oh, that's physically moving," when they have no way of being able to tell that. But yeah, you're correct. There is this odd phenomenon that things, as they go away from you, like right now I'm on a road, got the same problem. It's like the further part of the road, it's in the center of my vision. It's there. If I look in that direction, it looks like it's directly pointed, straight line to the center of my vision. But that's just what happens with perspective. So there's your answer. That's why it's a weird phenomenon like that. Each person...
Is he asking about... Is this convergence?
Yes, essentially. So it is true that each person from their vantage point sees the world from a distinct point of view that's focused on them in a perspective-based effect. And that's why, like... And it also happens with reflections, too. Like when you're at a beach and the line of the sun goes straight to your feet, right? How would that happen if the surface was curved?
It can't.
Exactly. But the point is that we all experience the visual world uniquely from our distinct point of observation. And that's why it seems like everything's focused on you, because you're the only one that can observe it from that point, because you're the only one looking through your eyeballs.
That's deep.
Yeah, no, I would like to add on to that point. So I would think that maybe the reason we see everything as the perspective we look at it as. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to articulate here, but the reason we see it like we see maybe possibly things going over the horizon is just because of the shape of our eyes, and not because the Earth is actually flat, because our eyes are obviously circular, so we can't see.
Right, that's a problem though, because cameras have the same effects. Okay, cameras have flat sensors, right? Sometimes they even have relatively flat lenses. So yes, trust me that your eye does have a curved sensor, but the primary point of how we see is because we have an angular field of view. We don't see things one for one. We see them through angles. Right? And all these angles appear to converge on us because that's the only light that we can perceive is the light that enters through the angles that we're able to resolve. all other angles are disregarded. It just so happens that when you approach 0 degrees and you fall below the angular resolution of the optic that you're using, that all the information will be lost. Which, by the way, if you math that out and draw it out, you'll find that for approximately 6 foot tall guy, that distance where that starts to happen is about 3 miles or 3.5 miles, roughly where they claim that the horizon starts to quote unquote block things. So you lose the same amount of resolution in your field of view that they claim the horizon does at almost the exact same distance. Isn't that peculiar?
Yeah, no. So I would, because obviously I'm 6'3", 6'4", and really the antithesis to my point is that it really discombobulates me that everything past the horizon, sometimes you just can't really see it. Like I feel like as a taller person, I'd be able to see it going further than someone who is, say, 5'3", but that just doesn't really work.
But you do.
Mm-hmm.
Look, even in the alleged globe mathematics, right? They're alleged mathematics, by the way. The distance to the horizon is based on your observer height, right? And the available propagation angles, if you follow the law of triangles, right, the taller you are, you'll have more available angles before you reach an acute angle. That's just the law of triangles. That's just pure geometry. So you would expect to see slightly more, but if you're 5 foot tall versus 6 foot tall, is it really going to be that significant? No, it'll probably be indiscernible.
Yeah, no. So I'm 6'8", but yeah, no. It's obviously the law of triangles. So I would see this as a 6'8" person. I would see the same as someone who is, say, 5'3", 5'4".
No, you'd see further. He just told you your observer height. It's all governed. The geometry is governed by the observer height. So you're taller than somebody 5 foot. You're going to see further.
Didn't he just say he was 6'3"?
No, 6'8".
6'3", 6'4", now 6'8".
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have been confused before.
Yeah, I always get confused with how tall I am.
Got to impress the ladies.
How tall are you? How tall are you in meters?
6'8". Jesus.
I think about 6 meters tall.
6 meters?
Holy shit! You're a giant.
That's too tall for a 5 foot tall person like me.
Dude, in your country, what units of measurement do they use?
Centimeters.
Okay, so how many centimeters tall are you?
193.
All right, there you go.
Good. What's your favorite color?
Light purple.
Oh, good grief. Don't answer that question. Why?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Was I not meant to answer that one? It's actually dark green. And I actually really like pink.
Mind your P's and Q's, because Kiwis.
That's not a bad question. That's not a bad question. So, if you had an iPhone, just check this out, brother. If you had an iPhone, let's just say you had an iPhone -5. So it was like going backwards in technology.
Yeah.
Where it only had 4 pixels on the screen rather than 2 million pixels that they have
light purple.
Right. So just imagine your screen had that many 4 pixels. Mm-hmm. Could you ever make out a face with 4 pixels?
Of course not. No.
Perfect. Now you understand. There's not enough visual information at lower angles to be able to resolve anything. The propagation angles and the angles of receptions are too small that you cannot see any of that data. And since we see in an angular field of view, all the compressed data on the axes Y and Z are on the same axes when you see. So Z is the distance away from you, right? And obviously Y is up and down.
Yeah.
All that data is compressed, right? So you can't see everything. And it just so happens that the closer you get to 0, the less and less you're going to see.
Sorry, pardon me.
So not only would things disappear at the bottom at distance, simply by the law of perspective alone, it's necessary. No matter what the world is, that will happen.
I see.
You don't need a globe to explain it.
sorry, I don't mean to sound stupid, but what do propagation angles, or what are propagation angles?
Well, light comes from a distant object, right? And it's going outwards from that object. But the only light you can see is the light that comes in through your aperture or your eye. Right? So your eye has a certain types of angles it can resolve, and the object's light is coming out it at certain angles as well. So, for example, if an object is at too narrow of an angle at a far enough distance, none of its light that's reflecting off of it will ever reach your eye. So you wouldn't see it anyway.
I see. So, if what you're saying is, say, if I look further up into the sky, then I'll be able to see further into the distance.
No, that doesn't change the propagation angles.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I quite understood your definition of propagation angles.
Okay, if light is coming from a distant object straight at you, right? Is changing the orientation of your eye going to change the fact that light is coming straight at you? Of course not.
Oh, no, of course not. Yeah, it'd be stupid.
Well, there's your answer.
I'm sorry, I'm being stupid, yeah. I'm sorry, I wear glasses.
How tall are your glasses?
What has
that's a hard question. Hard question.
I'm not a knuckle dragon glober.
Window licker.
Window licker.
Wait.
All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, while you're thinking of your more questions, let's sum this up with, so far, we haven't heard anything that requires a globe to exist for the phenomena that we see in the world.
Very true. Well, I would have thought my consolation question would have contributed to that a little bit.
What was it?
Well, just my question about how the stars or the supposed planets move throughout the seasons.
Move? How do they move?
Well, you know how the constellations change throughout the seasons.
And then they start over again the next year.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not sure if that's quite an answer. Just saying they go in a cycle.
It is an answer. No, it's a perfect answer. Let me explain. Previously, somebody asked about volcanoes. Might have been you. I don't remember.
No,
and
it was this damn Sam guy.
Okay, fine. But I told you that the explanation, it just is what it is. It's the same. Okay? The reason why the stars are in different positions throughout the year is because of the relative location of the Earth and the stars. That's what we know. No need for a globe.
I'm not saying there's a need for a globe. I'm just asking for why it does happen.
Yeah, simple. The stars move. There's your answer.
So, but how do the stars move?
How? Who knows?
I see.
Exactly. We can't even be sure whether they are moving or the interpretive media between us and them is moving, causing us to experience them as if they're moving.
Mm-hmm. No, so I think I would agree with that one more, honestly, because I'm geocentric, so I would think everything is moving around the planet, but I'm just asking how it happens in a cycle.
You mean the plane? The plane?
No, the planet.
No, it's not a planet because we already went over elevation angles.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. No, the plane. Yes.
Thank you.
Plus, a planet would be a wandering star.
The planet is a wandering star.
Right. Let's just call it the Earth. How about that?
Yeah. That would make
sense. There's no confusion what we're talking about, because the Earth is what we're standing on, and the things in the sky are not the Earth.
How are you sure that the Earth is what we're standing on?
Because I am standing on it. That's how I know.
Oh yeah, like, are you a 99%er?
Can we bring it back to plate tectonics? Did you say they don't exist?
I haven't heard this from you, damn Sam. This is a ridiculous argument. We've been over this before.
It's non sequitur.
Would ask you to plate tectonics. Number one, you have to show their existence, and number two, you're going to have to show cause and effect relationship. That would be an experiment. Can you do that?
But what evidence do you want exactly? Do you want like a measurable thing you can see in real life?
I want you to show me. I want you to support your claim of tectonic plates.
Right.
And then second,
this is what I'll do.
Not done yet. Then I want you to demonstrate via. Obviously, this is going to be a cause and effect relationship, a natural one. Well, we have something we call the scientific method that's used to adjudicate natural cause and effect relationship. So after you show us these tectonic plates, we want to hear your claim. And then to support your claim, we want the scientific experiment. You don't have to do it. You just have to show us where it is so we can go get it to validate what you said. How about that?
Okay. So do you want some evidence then for why they exist, or would you not accept the evidence?
No, I didn't. I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events. Do you want me to repeat this over again?
So you don't want evidence?
No, I didn't say I didn't want. I want evidence after you demonstrate tectonic plates. Then provide scientific evidence of an experiment.
What do you want to demonstrate?
Then I experiment.
You don't know. Okay, so
I don't know. It's your fucking claim.
You can visually see it in Iceland, and you can see it. If I measured the distance between Britain and America every year, you would see a distance of 2 centimeters per year.
Let's see it.
What do you mean? Let's see it.
Let's fuck it. You just made a claim. You said I could show you. Show.
Well, I could pull up
the pictures. Pull up the pictures.
Well, I can't pull up the pictures. I'm not allowed to send pictures. And stuff.
Oh, you can't pull up the. Of course, you can't pull up the.
No, I've got the pictures right now. If you want them,
send it. Then.
That's fine. That's fine. But I could disregard that out of hand by simply stating that space and time itself is stretching, and your tectonic plates is false. And by the way, I could provide a mathematical theorem. Well, that's relevant because I'm giving you a plausible different answer.
About what? Sorry. How they work? Or their existence?
Look, if your claim is that they're different distance apart, therefore tectonic plates so far, that's all we have.
It's not just that. You can for one, if you look at the mid-ocean ridge where it's spreading in the mid-Atlantic Ocean, between
what the fuck America is the mid-ocean ridge?
Mid-ocean ridge is where a divergent plate is moving apart. You can see it. There's like so much stuff on it.
I can see it. I'm looking at the computer screen. All I see is R472 funk channel.
What do you want me to send? Some pictures?
Send some evidence.
I'm going to fucking shut you out because I don't think you're following this. You make a claim, then you provide support for that claim. You follow that? You. Not me, you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Jeez,
so, show us the fucking mid-Atlantic ridge, and then go on.
What do you... Okay, the middle... Like, what do you want? It's a high point in the ocean.
Oh, bro doesn't even know what he's talking about anymore.
Why are you asking us what we want? Give us the evidence which supports the claim.
I'm asking,
what are you confused about? What are you confused about?
Do you want a picture of it? Do you want the elevation of it? Or what do you want? Do you want the
whatever you think demonstrates the
ridge? Do you want the magmatic data and the
why are you asking me what I want? It's your argument.
I'm asking what you want.
What do you think demonstrates
do you want scientific papers? Do you want scientific journals?
Hold on. Dude, calm down. What do you think demonstrates the mid-Atlantic ridge being evidence of a tectonic plate? I want that evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you think that is, because it's your claim, I'm not going to go find your evidence for you. You go find your evidence for your claim.
I'm right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's tough, man.
You got him there.
So do you want like?
He has nothing. Yeah, he has nothing to say now.
I guess I needed to translate QE into like I don't know, whatever. Gaga Google.
Dude, it's a fetch quest. Go get it.
All right, I'll go get it.
Get it. Sure.
You can see tectonic plates. That's craziness. The thinnest tectonic plate area, according to the gold model, is 150 kilometers thick. Okay, so stop with your dumbness, dude.
Yes, but
what does that have anything to do with it not working?
It doesn't matter, dude. You're supposed to be going to find the evidence.
Go get some evidence.
What works?
Go back up your claim, bruv.
You guys are forgetting the rule number 6 in the 10 Flat Commandments. That goddamn citation, get it. You think a Globey backing up their claim, man, forget it. Dude, they don't back up their claims anyway. This is rule number 6.
But in the meantime...
Yeah.
Right, hold on. While he's doing that, in the meantime, okay, let's just think about it. Can you have a table that's flat, then put some stuff on top of that table, and then put some other things on top of that table that are not connected to each other, and the table still be flat? Well, the answer, of course, is yes. So tectonic plates are non sequitur to the globe flat Earth argument, except to prove that people don't know how to argue for the globe. Once again, we haven't heard anything presented that necessitates a globe existing for it to exist.
I want to see you eat off a tectonic plate, bro. Something that's shaped like a tectonic plate. Plates are flat, dude.
They came in here saying that they wanted to talk about the processes that happen on the Earth to how does it work on a flat Earth, basically. That's what they were saying. How does this work on a flat Earth? And he went into like erosion and started talking about tectonic plates and all that. So that's kind of what they're trying to figure out. If the Earth is flat, how does this work? And it's like...
So erosion can't happen on a flat Earth. Jesus Christ, dude. This is where we're at.
Yep. You guys ever been to a kid's science fair? No, check this out, friends. This is so hilarious. You ever been to a kid's science fair and seen tectonic plate demonstration or volcano demonstration? Let me tell you about it. They set up a volcano on a flat table, and then they put some pressurized chemical in there, which erupts on a flat table. And for the tectonic plates, they put some floating things in a flat bucket of water, and then they float around. The base of what they're presenting it on is always flat.
Therefore, globe.
I just don't understand how the argument would eliminate a flat Earth. That's what I'm not understanding. The existence or non-existence of tectonic plates somehow curves the surface of the Earth? How does that work?
It doesn't.
I know that.
I mean, the only way that I've seen over the years is they imagine that the tectonic plates and the volcanic lava is coming from a hot ball of lava at the center of a floating space ball.
Wrong.
Even though that's not what the heliocentric model purports anyway. Like, lava flow doesn't come from the core. I don't know if they forgot to get that memo.
Wrong.
What's wrong?
Lava doesn't come from the core.
Exactly, it's wrong. You're right.
The lava just doesn't come from the core anyway. Why are you saying that?
Well, let me tell you why. Because we've been doing this for 7 years now, and people come in here every month purporting that lava comes from the magmatic core.
It doesn't come from the magmatic core. It's not magma.
No, duh, dude. That's what we're saying, dude. We're saying that people come in here
and magma, Sam.
You're saying other people or scientists?
So, Sam, what's the difference between magma and lava?
Lava is extruded magma.
Oh, cool. So you actually know. Cool. Yeah, lava's on the surface. Magma is under the surface.
Yeah.
By the way, we have Danny57 that's sitting in the chat right now, just announcing that. I don't know if he wants to come off mute.
Nah, he probably don't. It's sort of feisty in here for him. He's got a calm demeanor.
Probably DMs in the back chats for everyone, huh?
That's no worries, but there is an open invitation every time he shows up where I'm here for him to have the room cleared with no one speaking over him, for him to apologize for castigating the character and integrity of an entire group of people. Anytime. Or you could do that as a preface for your next book. By the way, I apologize to all the people I've offended in the past.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, AI, he could apologize for sending all that information to keep people on the mindset that the Earth is a globe when it really isn't. To all the people who are of the biblical mindset, but you know,
to all the people I've slandered before. I don't think we're gonna get that apology. Anyway, moving on. So, I just want somebody to walk me through the logic of tectonic plates, therefore globe. Like,
no, I just asked if you believe they exist on a flat Earth.
Why should I believe in anything?
You just switch accents, bro.
Why should I believe in anything? I have no evidence one way or another whether they exist. That's what I asked the other guy to do.
That's what.
Like the mask is gliding off.
I mean, seriously. So, like, there's a proposition. There's tectonic plates on the surface of the Earth floating around on a thing of magma.
It's not a thing of magma. And you know how buoyancy works as well?
Yeah, well, where?
Okay, so why is it a strange thing that slightly elastic rock moves very slowly over hundreds and millions of years?
My claim was not incredulity. My claim was there's no evidence.
There is plenty of evidence. I don't understand what you mean.
Okay, let's have that.
How about just
I
start
can
with
find
one?
it. I'm literally finding it right now.
Okay. There's plenty. There's so much you can't find it. God damn. This is like when you're looking for something.
Yeah, look, if you're going to find scientific papers, I got to find some proper scientific papers.
Oh, where did we go wrong? There's volumes of data, figures, numbers, fossil records.
Figures.
There are fossil records. What do you mean? There's fossil records. There's literal visual evidence for one. There is
volumes of proven data.
Seismic earthquakes,
which are done in a hyperbolic geometry. So does that mean we live in a hyperboloid?
Wait, say that again.
Seismic wave equation is a hyperbolic equation.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Continue. Okay, continue.
Is it not?
No, continue. Your point.
Do we live on a hyperboloid?
What are you on about? Continue your point.
That is my point.
That is your point.
You don't get it.
So you're just discrediting everything.
You haven't
because of
presented
that amazing point. Where is your evidence for that?
What's my evidence for what? Seismic seismic wave.
Do you know what hyperbole is? Can you give me the definition of hyperbole?
I didn't say hyperbole.
Holy crap, dude!
You did.
Holy crap,
okay.
bro!
A hyperboloid, a hyperbolic geometry is a geometry that has
but you said
an
hyperbole
intrinsic Gaussian curvature of negative. Listen, stop. An intrinsic Gaussian curvature of -1.
Sorry, I'm looking at my old. I'm trying to find some evidence for you, bro.
So why are you asking me the question if you don't even know the answer? How are you quizzing me?
What are you quizzing me on? What you're just discrediting seismic waves with whatever.
No, seismic waves exist, but their behavior and where they started at and where they end up and all that stuff is inferred from a hyperbolic geometry, not a globe. So if you familiar yourself with what's called a Poincare disk, so they take the Earth as if it was a cross section of a Poincare disk, and take seismographs and enter them into the equation to find the locus where it started at. It's completely speculative.
Nah, it's just wrong. That's just wrong for one.
Oh, okay, so
all you're doing is you're measuring the earthquake from one location to another location and measuring the speed of which it traveled, which shows you the distance. It's not even that hard of physics.
So it doesn't depend on the medium the wave travels through, right? Or refraction, or reflection.
If you're speaking about, are you speaking?
Or whether it travels through water or anything like that. None of that matters. That's your.
Well, not really. If it's going through the fucking Earth, bro.
The Earth is made of different material, right?
Look, even if you were like I don't know, a second or two off because it went through a tiny bit of water, but we can calculate the speed
Water's
of fucking
transparent.
waves. What are you on about? Yeah, no shit, it's transparent. Yeah, because it's a liquid. But that's not going to affect it. It's not going through any water. It's going straight through the crust of the earth.
Dude, you need to slow down and listen to what Indio's saying, because you're starting to sound like a foolish idiot, mate.
Yeah,
slow down, that man.
He has an idea of how it works, but no actual knowledge of how they actually do it in practice. See, he's seen a diagram somewhere one time.
A diagram? A seismogram?
A diagram, dude. A diagram. You saw a diagram.
Of?
And you... Never mind, dude. It's like talking to a fucking monkey.
Yeah, he's not being racist. He's just being hyperbolic.
Ah, did it?
Where's the shish?
So you'll find a little citation for the seismic wave equation being hyperbolic. Okay, here it is. So is the University of California, San Diego a good source? Or are they just like a shitty flat earther college?
That's why I said you're not going to take into account any actual geological evidence.
Bruh.
What evidence? You haven't presented
some evidence first, bro.
Do you know the constituent parts of the Earth through the middle and out the other side? Well, of course you fucking don't, do you?
What? Do I know what? Do I know the layers of the Earth, or what? What did you say?
You know what the constituent parts of the Earth are made up of? You know, when you go into the ground, what's under there?
Yeah, what the layers of the Earth go.
Yeah. So when you pass your PNS,
so the crust, the lithosphere, the asthenosphere, the upper
this is why I interrupted you earlier, mate.
The
you keep talking through people, and it's fucking annoying.
If you filibuster somehow, like you're not going to expose him as a pretender clown. No, you're going to be exposed. Doesn't matter how much you talk.
Just stop talking through people's answers, mate. It's really annoying. How do you expect to learn our point of view if you keep talking through the point of view? Dumb fuck. I'm done. I only jumped in for 5 seconds. Bloody hell. Don't know what the Earth is made up of. It's all assumption. Then you recalculate and you put it on a ball. You haven't got a clue what's 500 miles beneath your feet, have you? If you were to confirm it, you'd have to drill down 500 miles to confirm your PNS weight, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Well, just 2 years ago, they maybe it was last year, maybe. Yeah, now there's an ocean 3 times the size of the surface water under the ground now.
And I've only just discovered that, which... Sorry, so they've only just discovered that. So all of their PNS wave data for 10, 15, 20 years ago is fucking ruined because they don't have a clue what's underneath their feet. Now, do they, my friend? Have you got that point yet?
Yeah.
No.
Good. On to the next subject, then.
Yeah, so the moral of that story is if you make a lot of claims on your penis waves, you just look like a dick.
Ba-dum-dum tish.
Oh my.
No. Considering the largest hole that's ever been dug is about 8 miles deep. That's the Koala Super Borehole. The Arianas Trench is about 12 miles deep. We haven't got a clue what is beyond that point, so sending signals beyond the crust of the Earth, we couldn't confirm what they were going through. Now, could we?
You just confirm the density of what they are, and then you use meteorites that have landed.
Meteorites?
Yeah, you do. What are you on about? You use meteorites that have landed because they haven't had to experience any geological processes such as weathering, erosion, metamorphism, being remelted and crystallized.
How do you date
what are you on about? So you use those.
How do you date the meteorite?
Huh? How do you get a meteorite?
Yeah, how do you date the meteorite?
Well, you believe that there's a sphere around the Earth.
Yeah, no.
A dome that blocks. No, I'm
he
just
asked
saying.
you for your claim, sir.
I asked you.
I'm just saying. What is there?
How do you get to chronology?
I believe there's no atmosphere.
Yeah, how do you get to chronology for the meteorite? Regardless of whether space exists or not, how do you get that?
The chronology, the age of it.
Yeah, the age, yeah.
You use radiometric dating.
So how do you compensate for the variability of radioactive decay that was discovered 30 years ago?
That was discovered 30 years ago?
Yeah, so it turns out that radioactive decay is not a constant decay, that it's actually variable.
It's pretty constant. Like it'll
No,
be,
not anymore,
like,
dude. That's old news, bro. That's old news.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah,
if it's
it is. I'm going to show you.
It's not.
I'm going to show you.
No. Because if it was
30
variable,
peer-reviewed papers on MIT's website.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah, don't show
variable,
it.
Yeah,
don't prove it.
Sure. I'm not saying that.
Don't prove it.
I'm saying the variability of it won't matter because it's over such a long geological time span. It's over 300. It's over.
That makes
billions
it
of
worse,
years.
dude. What are you talking about? That actually makes it worse.
No, it doesn't make it worse because it shows that the rock is really fucking old and was out there in space for that long.
You don't know how radioactive decay works, do you?
Oh my fucking god, bro!
You don't know how radioactive decay works.
Okay, explain radioactive decay to me.
Okay, so typically you would so you make a prediction about how much half of the material transforms, right? So you either emit beta or alpha particles. So so you'll have a half-life. Say uranium is supposed to be 4.3 million years. So after 4.3 million years, half of the material will have spontaneously decayed into lead.
Into what?
Okay, but it turns out that is wrong. That the rate of decay is actually variable. And they've been trying to pinpoint what this variability is. Is it diurnal? Is it based upon the year? And they've come out with all sorts of crazy different results. Nobody knows. Okay. But
that doesn't matter because you can observe the variability and that's not going to matter over such a long time span.
You don't know what the variability is. You don't know what it like. The clock could run. Dude, you're basically telling me I can use something as a clock that can't keep time.
Bruh.
Yeah, but you're using it over such a long time span. It doesn't matter. It just kind of because you're not going. It is exactly this time. It is between this hundreds of millions of years. Between this 100 million years for that.
Hundreds of millions of years. You're going to need a ball for that. So we're all working on the premise that the Big Bang took place and we're still living on a fucking ball in a heliocentric model. Calm down, sunshine. You're going to need a ball for that. Whatever you're talking about from this point,
so there's a link.
You're going to need. Sorry, Indio.
No, just saying. There's the link, dude. There's probably like 20, 30 peer-reviewed papers. They've been trying to figure it out. Some non-periodic variations, periodic variations on the scale of days or years, periodic variations on the scale of seconds. So, yeah. If a clock doesn't have a known rate of ticking, then it's not a clock. If that tick rate changes at some random variable that's unknown, you cannot use it to measure time. I think you know this. I mean, intrinsically, that if you had a pendulum clock and how the pendulum swings varied wildly, that it would not keep time.
I need to add another point since we're talking about science, and science is based on philosophical assumptions and conclusions and logic.
This is as far away from science as you can get. I was just sitting back. But
sure. So, retroactive uniformitarianism is a philosophical assertion. Can't be proven. So, your idea about what happened millions of years ago is conjecture at best.
All theory.
It also violates the laws of quantum mechanics, by the way.
It wouldn't be theory.
Radioactive decay is a probability or probabilistic event. So where's the information and the knower 100 million years ago, please?
Oh, dear.
Man, I just can't prove it. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I know I'm right. And what's the scientific evidence of radioactive decay? Do you have an experiment to prove its validity? You don't know what an experiment is, do you? What are the
I don't.
parts of a scientific experiment?
Well, you want the control, independent, and
the
dependent variable.
Correct. Those are the three constituent parts. So, for radioactive decay, observe natural phenomena, please.
I mean, you can use something with a lower half-life than
I'm not observe natural phenomena, please.
observed. You can see the fucking atomic particles coming off it
You can see atomic particles, really, with your eyes.
with equipment. Yeah, you can see with your eyes.
Not in nature. That's a concrete noun.
But you can't. You got to make the conditions to be able to see it.
Concrete noun. Crayon cruncher. So observe
Remember a
phenomenon, please.
Remember, a phenomena is something happening, not a concrete noun.
So you want me to see it with my bare eyes, just in the natural world?
We want something happening, not a concrete noun. I'm not going to point at the floor. I want something happening, a phenomenon.
Years ago, by the way.
Yeah, something we can assert the cause of something happening. We're fucking doing science, mate. Come on. So you said dependent variable.
No.
Yeah. Come on.
So what do you want? What did you say? I don't understand the question.
Variable. The dependent variable. What's the dependent variable? You know, the thing happening. The dependent variable
of
whatever your fucking claim is right now.
He said of what?
Yeah, but no, because you've changed the subject like 100 times. We were speaking about your evidence for radiometric dating. Yeah.
Yeah. So observe natural phenomena, please.
You would measure if there was a change in the atomic weight.
Measure.
Observe.
Observe a natural phenomena. You'd measure.
Of course, you would measure.
Really?
You're not taking measurements.
You know what to measure.
Oh, so we want to observe the atomic weight of the fucking thing of the fucking element changing.
You want to observe the atomic weight of the fucking thing.
Of the element changing.
Are you a clown?
He is, but you don't know.
Clown, dude.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you he is. But you don't know it. It's interesting. It's one of those clowns.
I just don't know it.
I know.
Yeah.
We all know that because it's a non sequitur category error that you're.
But you can't explain to me how any geological features actually.
Explain to me. Geology is not science.
Fucking. Why are you on a computer right now? Why are you on a computer right now?
You don't fucking ask me any questions. You're the dumbest person in here. We're going to ask you more questions. You said geology. Is geology a natural science?
It's a geoscience, yeah.
No, so it's a natural science.
It's a study of the earth.
Okay, it's a study of the earth. That's amazing. Can natural science be conducted without experiment?
Yes, you can visually observe.
Yes.
Lots of stuff.
Done for. It's all over for you. You would fail 5th grade.
No, without experiments. Sorry, I thought you said without. I thought you were going to say without, like observable evidence.
No, I said experiment. Yeah, you're a clown. We're just going to shut you down.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye. Next.